Hey everyone, it's Rajiv and welcome back to my channel Rajiv's Reviews. In this video, I'm going to be giving my book review of The Best Laid Plans by Sidney Sheldon. So the story revolves mainly around three characters who are Leslie, Oliver, and Dana. Leslie and Oliver are madly in love with each other and they are engaged and to be married. But everything comes to a halt when Leslie finds out that Oliver has married this woman named Jan in Paris just a week before she was supposed to get married to Oliver herself. So Leslie vows revenge on getting back at Oliver for deceiving her, and as she raises up in the corporate ladder of the press world, and Oliver also raises up to become the president of the United States, she finds out ways and means in which she can pull him crashing to the ground. In a parallel storyline, Dana is this up and coming reporter who wants to become a foreign correspondent, and she wants to do something meaningful with her work. So the story focuses on how she struggles to get the dream job that she always wanted. And finally, there's a whole set of turn and events that take place on how these three characters get connected to one another. So people who have seen my previous videos know that I'm a huge fan of Sidney Sheldon. So I have been recently rereading all of his books. I recently picked up The Best Laid Plans because I vaguely remember reading it when it released, so I didn't remember much about it. And it's also one of those novels that wasn't hugely popular as his earlier novels, which everyone used to talk about so much. I guess there's a reason why, because after I finished reading this book, I thought it was very average and it lacked that magic that he usually has in his other novels. So let's start off with what I liked about the story. In most of Sidney Sheldon's novels, he focuses the landscape on a distinctive work field. Where he focuses all his stories and characters around. In A Stranger in the Mirror, it was surrounding show business, and in The Stars Shine Down, it focused on the real estate business. So similarly, in The Best Laid Plans, the story revolves around the media and the print business, mainly in printed newspapers and television stations. Also, Sidney Sheldon has a very simple yet gripping style of telling his stories. So even if you are not an avid reader and you don't like to read books, the best place to start would be to pick up any Sidney Sheldon novel because they are so easy to read, but the storyline is just so mesmerizing as well. So I liked how the setting of The Best Laid Plans takes place in the news media and the printed press environment, and I thought it brought a new look to his otherwise very formulaic stories. Secondly, I really liked the characters in themselves. Whether it be Leslie or Oliver or the father-in-law, Senator Todd Davis, they are all distinctive and unique in their own way. And it was so much fun to see how they become ruthless and conniving towards each other as they start getting more power and prestige. And I really like the way in which the story was progressing between the rivalry of Leslie and Oliver. So yeah, I really loved the first half of this book because it had a lot of momentum and it was going towards a certain angle. Now, the exact problem as to where this book started going downhill was with Dana's introduction. As much as I love Dana in this book and her own storyline, I really hated the fact that it shifted the focus away from Leslie and Oliver. Leslie is great as the star character, and the entire story should have actually been focused and concentrated just around her. I hated that the author focused the attention away from Leslie and started to concentrate only on Dana. When Dana's character is introduced, I thought, okay, fine, maybe she is going to get involved with Leslie and Oliver in some way, and there's going to be a romantic triangle and some drama involved. But nothing like that ever seemed to materialize either. Dana's whole storyline in this book seems to be a standalone plot, and while the story is nice and charming in its own way, it really did not have that flair and magic that the author is known for. Also, the story kind of just leaves us hanging towards the end, where there are a lot of things that are unresolved with most of the characters, and the only resolution that takes place is with Dana, who seems to be the weakest amongst all the characters. I also did not understand how Senator Todd agreed to change his mind in the very end because it seemed very unlike his character to agree to what Oliver was saying, and it felt really unrealistic. I also really hated the way that Leslie was abruptly written off because I was rooting for her so much because I liked her character a lot. At the end, Oliver also seemed to get the better end of the deal, which again I thought was very unfair because I really did not like his character either. So, my recommendation would be to read this book if you are a fan of the author, but if you have not read Sidney Sheldon and you really want to read some of his better novels, then I would recommend that you read books like Tell Me Your Dreams or Master of the Game or Stranger in the Mirror or The Other Side of Midnight. Overall, The Best Laid Plans was an average book and I would give it a rating of 3 out of 5 stars. If you enjoyed watching this video, then please do like, share and subscribe, and please do click on the bell notifications icon to get notifications on whenever I post something new. Thank you for watching, and until next time, bye.